Hello, welcome to my channel, A Book Forest. My name is Kim, and today I'm going to be doing the end of year book tag. I was tagged by Matt at Random Reading Pathways, so thank you very much for that. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish before the end of the year? I don't need to finish any book before the end of the year per se, but there was one I would like to finish. So I started Tooth and Claw in September, and although I think I will enjoy this, I started it at the same time pretty much as Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson, and they were quite similar in tone and type of a style, so a bit fairy tale-esque, I would say. So I did not want to be reading two books of the same type at the same time. It didn't seem like it was a good idea. This one is interesting. It has only like dragons as characters, so I'm really interested in it, and I am a completionist, so I would like to finish it. So this Tooth and Claw by Jo Walton. Then this, do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the end of the year? Yes and no. I'm not a seasonal reader, but I do have, at this time of year, November, I always get an urge to read some Charles Dickens, and thankfully he has a lot of books, and they're quite chunky. So this year I'm reading Martin Chuzzlewit. That's random. I picked this one because I had it on my shelves. The autumn is my favorite season. This year I'm a bit less enthused by it because my kids keep getting sick. But I do like the fall, and I always think that Victorian literature is perfectly tailored for fall, and especially November. For me, November is not pre-Christmas, it's post-Halloween. So for me, like here it's quite cool, but it's not snowy yet, so it's kind of gray and creepy, so I think it's more spooky than Christmassy. So I usually get into this kind of mood in the fall. So that's going to transition me into the next season, into winter, because I'm sure I'm not going to finish it this month, for sure. So the next question is there a new release you're still waiting for that you haven't gotten to? Yes, like everyone else, I'm waiting for Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. I can't wait. So that's my new release. I'm not going to talk too much about that. Everyone knows about it. Yeah, that's I'm quite anticipating. Then the fourth question, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? It's similar to the first question, but not so much. I have like books that maybe I haven't started, I want to read before the end of the year. There is one book I have started because it's a collection of short stories by Sheridan Le Fanu. I read Carmilla in October for spooky season. Really enjoy that. But I am making my way through the other short stories, and I would like to finish that before the end of the year, if at all possible. It's enjoyable. Carmilla was really good. I will talk about it more in my wrap-up. And then there's also The Sunlit Man, which is on my November TBR. And since I wanted to complete the Cosmere this year, this is the last one before Wind and Truth comes out. So yeah, I want to finish this before the end of the year. Absolutely before the end of the month, hopefully. And there's also a book that was on my, I want to say April or May TBR. It's Pawn's Gambit by Rob J. Hayes. It's one of the books in this trilogy of sorts called Mortal Techniques. And I read Never Die, and I really enjoyed it. I think they can be read independently from each other. They're not like, they're kind of standalone-ish. But I want to read all the books from that series because I enjoyed Never Die so much. So I would like to get to Pawn's Gambit. I don't like to put stuff on my TBR and not get to it in the end. So I always keep December a bit as a buffer to be able to read anything I couldn't get to during the year. So that's one I would like to get to. So the fifth question is there a book that you think might still shock you and become your favorite of the year, if we're not counting Wind and Truth, because I hope it's going to be one of my favorite books of the year. There is one I am currently reading. It's the Fiona Var Tapestry by Guy Gavriel Kay. I'm in the second book right now. It's a trilogy, and that's the whole trilogy. I was not anticipating to like this very much, like so much. I know it's like his first published works, and he has written other books since then. And everyone says this is not his best, but I'm really liking it. So, like very much. So I hope, like by the end, it's one of my favorite books of the year. Classic fantasy, lovely. And I will talk about more of also in my wrap-ups, but that might still shock me. I had read A Song for Our Bone like 30 years ago by Guy Gavriel Kay, and I really loved it. But that's my first foray into his work since then. So the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Yes, because I can't help myself. I make reading plans and then I change them, and I just putter around in my reading list, and oh yeah, this could be good, and I try to organize my months with different genres, different, like not to get too into one thing that I get sick of it. And I also try to get my series, like try to read my series I've started, because I don't want to have like a million series on the go. Like 15 at the same time is my absolute maximum, I think. But I also have a project for next year. I'm not gonna say too much about it because I'm gonna do a separate video for that. But this year I did the Brandon Sanderson Cosmere project, that I wanted to read all of his works in like that I hadn't read before in the Cosmere before Wind and Truth, and I did it, and I really enjoyed my experience. I like to get really into one author or one series and really like bask into it basically. So since I really enjoyed that series, that experiment, I want to do it again next year with a different author. I'm not gonna say which one I've chosen. I have chosen. I usually I have like a few authors I was trying out to see if I wanted to do this project with them, and I'm trying to check out authors that have a lot of backlog, a lot of books published that I haven't read, so that if I get the project in 1 year, like I can check all those books off the TBR and get really into this author and get up to date on its works. So that's my plan that I'm for next year. So I'm not gonna tag anyone because I don't really have anyone to tag. Most of the people that I've interacted with have done this tag already, and the other ones like are huge booktubers. Like they don't need my little input in their channels, and I don't know them that well. So what I'm gonna do is say, like, if you want to do this tag, just go ahead, consider yourself tagged. And thank you very much, and see you next time.